Gentlemen, what I'm about to reveal will shock you to your core. There's a deadly habit that 80% of men over 60 practice every single day, unknowingly destroying their prostate health. This isn't about what you eat or drink. It's something far more sinister, hiding in plain sight. Recent studies from Johns Hopkins reveal a connection so alarming that it could change everything you think you know about prostate health. The medical establishment has been ignoring this for decades, but the evidence is undeniable. In the next few minutes, I'll expose this hidden danger and show you exactly how to protect yourself. What you're about to discover connects directly to the inflammation crisis affecting millions of men. Stay with me, because what comes next will completely transform your understanding of prostate health. And missing even one detail could mean the difference between a healthy future and a medical nightmare. The habit I'm talking about isn't smoking or drinking alcohol. It's something you probably did for hours today without even thinking about it. Sitting, yes. Prolonged sitting is silently assassinating your prostate health. And here's the terrifying science behind it. When you sit for extended periods, blood pools around your prostate gland, creating a perfect storm of inflammation. Research published in Men's Health magazine shows that men with just 1 extra hour of daily sitting time have a 16% higher chance of elevated PSA levels, a key marker of prostate problems. But this is just the beginning of what prolonged sitting does to your body. The inflammation cascade that starts in your prostate doesn't stop there. It spreads throughout your entire pelvic region. This creates a domino effect that leads to chronic enlarged prostate, and in worst cases, increases your cancer risk. The mechanism is simple, yet deadly, and understanding it fully requires us to dive deeper into what happens next. Here's where it gets even more alarming. When you sit, especially on hard surfaces, you're applying direct pressure to your prostate gland through your perineum. This constant pressure restricts blood flow and lymphatic drainage, creating what urologists call prostatic congestion. Think of it like putting a tourniquet around your prostate for 8 to 12 hours every day. The reduced oxygen flow triggers inflammatory responses, and over time, this chronic inflammation becomes the breeding ground for serious prostate conditions. Clinical studies show that sedentary men have significantly higher rates of chronic prostatitis compared to active individuals. The pressure also affects the delicate nerve pathways surrounding the prostate, leading to pain, difficulty urinating, and sexual dysfunction. But here's what most doctors won't tell you about this connection, and it's crucial information that links directly to the natural solutions I'll reveal. The inflammatory markers created by prolonged sitting can be measured and reversed, but only if you understand the complete picture I'm about to share. The inflammatory cascade doesn't happen overnight. It builds insidiously over months and years. Every time you sit for more than 30 minutes without moving, you're triggering the release of inflammatory cytokines around your prostate tissue. These microscopic warriors, designed to protect you, actually begin attacking healthy prostate cells when chronically activated. The result is cellular damage that accumulates day after day, year after year. What makes this even more dangerous is that most men won't feel the damage happening until it is already severe. By the time symptoms appear, the inflammation has often progressed to chronic prostatitis or benign prostatic hyperplasia. The statistics are staggering. Over 50% of men over 60 have some form of prostate enlargement, and the vast majority are chronic sitters. But here's the connection that will blow your mind. This same inflammatory process that starts with sitting creates a cascade that affects your entire hormonal system. The next piece of information I am about to share reveals how this impacts your testosterone and overall vitality in ways you never imagined. Your hormonal system becomes a casualty of chronic sitting in ways that most men never connect. When inflammation spreads from your prostate throughout your pelvic region, it disrupts the delicate hormonal balance, essential for male health. Chronic inflammation increases aromatase activity, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, effectively feminizing your hormonal profile. This explains why many men over 60 experience not just prostate problems, but also decreased libido, muscle loss, weight gain, and mental fog. The connection between sitting-induced inflammation and hormonal disruption is so profound that addressing one without the other is virtually useless. Research from Harvard Medical School confirms that inflammatory markers directly correlate with declining testosterone levels in aging men. But here's what's truly revolutionary. When you reverse the inflammatory process through specific interventions, you can restore not just prostate health, but your entire masculine vitality. The natural compounds I'm about to reveal work synergistically to break this vicious cycle, but you need to understand how they work together for maximum effectiveness. Now, let me reveal the natural solution that can reverse decades of sitting-induced damage. The first powerhouse compound is saw palmetto extract, but not just any saw palmetto. Clinical-grade saw palmetto contains specific fatty acids that directly block the inflammatory cascade we've been discussing. Studies show it reduces prostate inflammation by up to 40% within 60 days when used correctly. But saw palmetto alone isn't enough. You need the second compound, stinging nettle root extract, which works synergistically by blocking the binding of inflammatory proteins to prostate tissue. When combined with pumpkin seed oil, rich in zinc and essential fatty acids, these three create what I call the prostate protection trinity. But here's the crucial part most people miss. Timing and dosage are everything. Taking these compounds randomly won't give you the results you need. The next information I'll share about proper implementation could mean the difference between mild improvement and complete restoration of your prostate health, so don't miss what's coming next. The proper protocol for reversing sitting-induced prostate damage involves more than just supplements. You need to address the root cause, the sitting itself, while simultaneously healing the existing inflammation. The most effective approach combines targeted movement breaks with specific dietary interventions. Every 30 minutes of sitting should be interrupted with 2 minutes of targeted pelvic movements that restore blood flow to the prostate region. These aren't complicated exercises, but simple hip circles, squats, and pelvic tilts that dramatically improve circulation. Simultaneously, you need to flood your system with anti-inflammatory compounds through both supplements and food. Lycopene from tomatoes, quercetin from onions, and omega-3 fatty acids work together to cool the inflammatory fire in your prostate. But timing is critical for maximum absorption and effectiveness. The next phase of this protocol involves dietary modifications that specifically target prostate inflammation. And what I am about to reveal about certain foods will surprise you because they read probably in your kitchen right now. Certain foods act like medicine for your inflamed prostate, while others act like gasoline on fire. The foods that heal include anything rich in lycopene, like cooked tomatoes, which studies show can reduce prostate inflammation by up to 35%. Garlic and onions contain organosulfur compounds that specifically target the inflammatory pathways we've discussed. Green tea provides polyphenols that protect prostate cells from oxidative damage caused by chronic inflammation. But here's what shocked me when I first discovered it. Pomegranate juice has been shown to slow PSA doubling time in men with prostate issues by an incredible 50%. On the flip side, foods high in saturated fats, processed sugars, and inflammatory oils accelerate the damage caused by prolonged sitting. Red meat, especially when charred or processed, creates inflammatory compounds that specifically target prostate tissue. The combination of healing foods with the right supplements creates a powerful synergy. But there's one more critical element that amplifies everything. What I am about to share about hydration and its connection to prostate health will revolutionize how you think about something as simple as drinking water. Proper hydration plays a crucial role in healing sitting-induced prostate damage. But it's not just about drinking more water. The timing and type of fluids you consume can either accelerate healing or worsen inflammation. Morning hydration with filtered water helps flush inflammatory toxins that accumulate overnight in prostate tissue. But here's the key. You need to avoid fluids 2 hours before bedtime to prevent the bladder pressure that worsens prostate symptoms. Herbal teas like nettle leaf and green tea provide additional anti-inflammatory compounds while maintaining proper hydration. However, alcohol and caffeine act as inflammatory accelerants, especially when combined with prolonged sitting. The most powerful hydration strategy involves drinking 16 ounces of filtered water immediately upon waking, followed by steady sips throughout the day rather than large amounts at once. This maintains optimal blood flow to the prostate, while preventing the bladder pressure that creates additional problems. What comes next ties everything together with a simple daily routine that takes less than 10 minutes, but can reverse years of prostate damage. This final piece is the missing link that makes everything else work exponentially better. Here's your complete daily protocol for reversing sitting-induced prostate damage and reclaiming your masculine vitality. Upon waking, drink 16 ounces of filtered water, then take your prostate protection, Trinity, saw palmetto, nettle root, and pumpkin seed oil on an empty stomach for maximum absorption. Every 30 minutes throughout your day, perform 2 minutes of pelvic mobility exercises, hip circles, squats, and pelvic tilts. Your meal should emphasize cooked tomatoes, garlic, onions, and green leafy vegetables while eliminating processed foods and excessive red meat. End your day with 8 ounces of pomegranate juice and stop all fluid intake 2 hours before bed. This protocol addresses both the root cause, excessive sitting, and the inflammatory consequences through natural interventions proven by clinical research. Thousands of men have used this exact system to restore their prostate health, reduce inflammation, and reclaim their energy and vitality. The choice is yours. Continue with the daily habit that's slowly destroying your prostate, or take action today with this natural solution that can transform your health and your life. Your prostate and your future self will thank you.